Hey guys, I'm Christy Stone, Junk Journal Boss, and I'm here to share my passion for junk journaling with you. If you're new to junk journaling, it's a great way to express your creativity and upcycle old materials if you'd like. And if you're a seasoned junk journaler, I'm always open to new ideas and inspiration. So join me on this journey as we explore the world of junk journaling together. So last time what we did was we created the cover and the extension, and some of the ink that I used was a little bit too it was, instead of being a distress oxide, it was just a regular ink pad, and so there are downsides to that. You definitely can do it, it's just that there are some downsides that you may not want to deal with. So I will definitely be getting myself, some kind of Tim Holtz distress oxide or ink, distress ink. So this was the regular cover that I usually always provide with my folios, right? And I usually provide one of these that has the tab on this side and one that has the tab on this side. And it's actually like the whole thing's flipped. But this time when I was designing, I decided not to add a flap on this side, but to actually just add a tab that would allow me to glue these two together. And it worked out really nice, because then you don't end up with another flap over here like I was before, and they were coming out a little bit wonky looking. So it probably would have been better for me to use double-sided tape on this, because this keeps coming up and it's getting messy, but that's all right. We're not going to stress about it. I could cover it if I wanted to, but I think that would just be too much bulk for this part. And then the other thing that we did was I cut a slit in the front instead of making a closure. I just cut this, but it's not very easy to use. So but I had wanted to try it just to see if it would work, and it does work okay. I would think that it might work a little bit better if I had cut the slit from up here to down here, so that it would cover more of the flap. But either way, it works fine. If it ends up being too full for that, then I can always just add an eyelet here, and I can create this kind of closure, So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to make the signatures for this folio. And this comes with, let's see, I think it comes with 6 or 8 different designs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 5 different ones? Yeah, 5 different designs with plain and lined. So it's really 10. I printed these double-sided on my laser printer, and so they're about even. And if you have trouble with this, what the setting that I used was to flip on the short side, so that in the printer it would go like this and then like that, rather than like this and then like that. And that seemed to help. Here are my first few pages. It looks like some of these were a little bit crooked, but again, you can either cut it down or you can ink the edges. But just for the sake of doing this particular thing, I will wait until a little bit later to decide what I want to do. And it could have just been because I cut it, wonky. All right, so here are the other two pages, and they don't have any weird edges on there. This one looks a little bit, but not bad. So I'm going to, I guess, put this and then this. I'm going to alternate the flat color with the pictures. And so you can do it however you want. There's no real recommended way. It's just whatever your preference is. I'm going to go ahead and fold these. And I'm not going to score them because, for one thing, it's hard to score 5 sheets of paper, and I guess I'm just kind of being lazy. So I am going to trim off the edge. And then I'll turn it over and do it again, because for some reason, once it gets down here, the blade gets down here, it wants to chew the paper up. Okay, so there's a relatively better edge. This isn't really my best cutter. My best cutter is that big giant Carl one, and that one is really sharp. And so we'll look at the edge right here. You know, it's okay. But I'm going to cut on my Carl, and then I'll bring it back and show. Okay, so here's what it looks like after. So everything's really straight, and the Carl does it so easily. So I like to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these on the Carl, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so now I've got my second signature, and these are really only 5 thick, 5 sheets of paper thick. You can add more sheets of paper if you want to, different kinds of paper, and that. But I'm just going to make them the simple way. And you can cover these or not. You can put like an outside cover on them. What I like to do is either just sew down the center of my signatures or staple it. So let's see. I think I'll staple this time just for ease, and that way I can do it on camera. So for these signatures, you really don't need this long stapler, but it does come in handy if you have wider signatures or signatures with wider pages. But this thing is cool because it has a piece that you can pull towards you so that it stops your paper from moving in the right place every time. So once I set it, I can do all of my stapling. So now I don't have to do all that measuring. I measure one time and then I just staple as many times as I need to. This is just a cheap stapler. It's like 13 bucks. So if you are wanting to get something like that, it's not very expensive. It's not the greatest one, you know. It is going to have its little troubles, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. So there we have it. Our 2 signatures. Now, we can choose where to put these. So if you're looking at, say, you have a little bit of like creasing or weird stuff here, you can always add them right in here and it will cover that up. You can add them over here so that they lay this way and this way. Just make sure when you put it in that your kitties are not going to be upside down, okay? Oh, this one is upside down. Okay, so I guess they're going to be different, but that's all right. I'm cool with that. So you can add these either by tucking them into pockets or actually putting them into the actual folio. But let's see. I think what I'll do is I will use one of these. And this, since this is from another thing, it has a little charm on it, which I don't need. You wouldn't need that, but I just pulled it off of something else. So all you need to do is just tuck it right underneath that, and then you can remove it anytime you want. Okay. If you only want to use one, you can put them all on top of each other like that and make it all into one folio. But if you need to take part of it out, you can pull that out like that. The other option is, since this is black elastic cording, you could, if you wanted to hide it a little bit better, move it over here to this black part, and then it'll be less noticeable. So there you have it, the signature part. And there's lots of ways to put your signatures in. You can sew them into your folio. You can staple them into your folio. You can, use, I keep wanting to call these grommets, and Monique calls them grommets, but maybe I'll just use it interchangeably. But these eyelets, you can use eyelets to string some of your elastic thread through and do it that way. But it's endless. So now I'm going to test this again and see that yes, it certainly can still be closed just fine. And so there we have it. Looks good. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more junk journaling inspiration. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.